Hello my friends, 3KO Games here with another Empires and Puzzles video. I've been seeing lots of questions in the forum, in social media, and in my Alliance chat about, hey, what talent path should I use for this hero? And especially now that we have the hero coach here, many of us have a shiny new 5-star double limit broken hero with no emblems. So it's kind of on all of our minds. I thought I'd put together today a video about what I think about when I'm embleming up my heroes. But before we get into that, if you have been watching and enjoying my videos in the past, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. It really helps me out a lot. And also, I want to be able to help you out. Big news here, my friends. Small Giant Games is going to be granting a bunch of gift codes, redemption offers, directly to the content creators of this game to give out to our followers, our subscribers. And I'm going to be giving out more information in the next week or so. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are watching all of these videos in the next week or so, and I will tell you more all about it. For now, let's get into this video about embleming up your heroes. Okay, here we go. Top 5 things I think about when embleming up my heroes. Number 1 is an obvious one, but we should say it anyway. Just think about this hero. What is their primary use? Are they an attacking hero, or are they a healing hero? Or I should say support hero. Healing is support, but so is taunt, and so is other mana control. The type of hero that you just want to stick around. If you want them primarily to attack, then choose that sword path as much as you can. If you want them to support, choose that shield and health path as much as you can. Let's go in and take a look at one of my favorite healers in the game, Fuller. She is a healer, 30% health for all allies, plus a Firestorm ward, so she's protecting all of the allies. Plus, she is making your allies immune to status ailments for 4 turns. I use her as a tank pretty often, and I want her to stick around. She does do a little damage. Her Molten Core is actually pretty nice, 359 burn damage per turn. All enemies receive this corrosive burn. So that's pretty great. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to level up her sword path. I don't want to increase that. I want to make her as survivable as possible so she is healing and protecting my team. So if we look into the talent grid on Fuller, am I going left? Am I going right? I'm just following whichever route I think is more defensive. So obviously left here for health and shield. You'll come to nodes like this where it's like, well, do I go left or right? And I think I just saw that I was going to be having a big boost of defense coming up. So I went right to health. I was going to get a sword no matter what. And most of these classes, most of these heroes are going to have one of these points where it's like, well, do I go left or right? It's kind of the same, and we'll talk a little bit later about why that is slightly different for some heroes and some talent classes. Here, another thing to think about, and we'll call this point number 2, be careful of the X symbol when you're trying to choose left or right. Well, do I want defense or do I want health? Well, this symbol, it's going to be much stronger boost than if this were defense over on the left. The defense boost would be much lower. I don't need a much higher 41-point attack stat as opposed to 15. So let's go for the defense, right? Defense. I just did a big, strong health boost, so I guess I could do more health, or I could do defense. Kind of doesn't matter either way. Here's another one where it's like, well, I could go either way. I chose to go defense route. And obviously here, ignore the sword if I can. and rounding that out. Did I actually go to 25 emblems? I have not. Ooh, maybe I should. I've got all those master emblems. I'll do that another time. Certainly, if you go all the way to 25 with these masterclass emblems, a healer, support hero like this, you would want to go to the right as much as possible. Let's take a look at somebody who's primarily an attacker, like Poppet. Poppet's a little old now, but he's one of my strongest blue heroes. Eventually, I will pull somebody stronger and more current, but in the meantime, I take him in my primary blue team almost all the time. Defense down to 3. That if it gets removed, the target suffers some damage and then hits those 3 for 390% damage. Primarily an attacker. So when I take a look here, I'm going left to the sword. I'm going right to the sword, right? Left to the sword. It's a pretty easy choice here because one route doesn't have sword and the other one does. So you just take that. And that gets me through. Did I do? No, I also did not do Masterclass emblems here. If you have an attacking hero, you'd probably want to go to the left as much as possible. So I said number 2, careful of that X bonus. If the things look even, the X next to the symbol will be a stronger boost. So you want to take that the right way. Number 3, when you're trying to make choices left or right on particular nodes, especially with an attacking hero, that could be like, well, attack and health or attack and defense. I don't know. It's kind of the same. Think about heroes that you have with minions. We'll take Dima, for example. Dima, who is a garrison guard hero, hits 3 for 400% damage, then gives them a 25% negative defense, plus a big sword guard mega minion, 35% HP, and 300% attack inherited from the caster. So the important part here is that whatever the hero's HP stats are, and attack stats are, that's going to tell what the Mega Minion's stats are at. So, when I go into the talent grid, yes, he's primarily a hitter, so I want to go to sword as much as possible. Let's see if there's even a node here that makes a difference. Kind of not. But if there were a node that went sword and health, like let's say this node here, if left actually said sword and health, and right was sword and shield, I would probably take sword and health because that would help boost up that Mega Minion. There's sword and health on the left, but it wasn't matched by sword and shield or something on the right-hand side. So anyway, if that choice presents itself, think about that for your minion heroes. Now, I would say that for a shield guard Mega Minion, somebody like a Rosalind or something like that, or let's say Fergus or something like that, you don't really need their attack stat to their minion boosted up that much. So definitely take health when you can, because that's going to make the Mega Minions stronger. But you don't necessarily need to bulk up their attack. You can treat them like a support hero in general and do as much shield and health as you can for a hero like that. So that's number 3. Number 4 thing that I like to think about is, hey, is this somebody that you want to have as a tank? That you want to have out front taking a whole lot of damage. You think they're going to be the anchor of your ship. Most of the time, that's a healer for me, just based on the heroes that I have. But I thought Mortowitch might be an interesting tank. Hindsight, I don't think she's excellent as a tank. I think she's excellent a lot of ways, but not necessarily as a tank, but I'm not going to redo her talent grid. I'm happy with where it is. So she's got that huge Mega Fiend and also hits for 800% damage. So maybe I want to go all sword route because she hits for all that damage. She's a hitter. She also heals a little bit. But when I was thinking about, well, she could be a tank, I did choose sometimes to go defense and health over that attack. I don't regret this for a second. She still hits really hard, and if she doesn't kill somebody right away, that Mega Fiend is going to drain them pretty soon thereafter. So you can see that first turn, I chose shield and health. Then I went sword. I ignored sword again, because I just didn't think the crit chance was all that important. Here it didn't really matter, right? Shield and sword or sword and health, so I just went shield and sword. I did take the sword on this choice, and I did take the sword bonus this last time. Yeah. And I think I went both ways when I did masterclass emblems here. So make her a little stronger when she hits, but make her a little stronger, hoping she will last with some defense there. So it doesn't have to be all sword or all shield. If you think you need them to last as a tank and they're kind of a hitter, well, then you need some attack, but you need some survivability. Another thing that I think you should do and consider is that anytime you are presented with a mana node, take it. Just take it. Don't ask questions. The longer version of this is a whole other video, and it's getting into how many tiles and percents of mana required and thinking about your troops and all that kind of stuff. There are some great videos out there by other content creators that explain this. Let me just take an average speed hero quickly for example. Without any troops, which is kind of impossible, but let's just say it would take 10 tiles to get an average speed hero to fire. Let's assume you are using legendary troops, so they are going to give you an 11% mana bonus, mana generation bonus. As you can see here on this breakpoint, that's still going to be 10 tiles required. If you want to be able to fire your average speed hero in 3 tile matches, in 9 tiles, you're going to need 1 extra percent of mana generation from something. And if the legendary troops max out at 11% mana, then you need that mana node, or you need a costume bonus, or you need to always pair your hero with somebody else that gives a mana bonus somehow. I don't know that I'm always going to use the same teams and always going to have a bard or somebody like that increases mana. So the way that I can make that happen with my individual hero is by just choosing that mana node. So back to Dima. Here, right before the end, I could have made him a little bit more staunch with a little bit more health, but choosing that mana node just meant I can fire Dima in 3 tile matches. If you're interested more about that, I could do another video. Like I said, there are several videos out there. I don't mind taking a turn at it. It's pretty math and pretty nerdy, but I'd be happy to. I just think the recommendation should always be take the mana node when in doubt. Final thing that I would like to recommend, and we'll go back to Mortowitch here for a second, is that if you're really struggling left or right sometimes, you know, it doesn't matter that much. In the end, that little bit of boost to your defense or to your health or to your attack, it's all going to come out in the wash. Most battles that you fight, unless, I mean, if you go all sword or all shield or something like that, that's a sort of a big difference. But if you're just debating one node, the stats won't be that different. It's probably not going to make that huge of a difference in any one of your battles. And for every battle that you don't quite kill a hero, and you think, man, if I had just gone the sword route one more time, that hero would be dead. There is another battle where your hero just barely dies, and you think, man, if I had just done the shield or health route one more time in the mana path, I would still be alive. So don't worry about it too much, everybody. You'll be fine. Level up those heroes. Fight some good wars. Fight some good raids. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching today. If you have any other further questions or thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. And we'll see you next time.